Hello, this is your Bongmom teacher analyzing literary pieces for you once again. Welcome back to my channel. Now, first and foremost, even before I start my topic today, I hope that all of you are doing good, all of you are staying safe, all of you are staying home. And I hope that all this, this apocalypse, this entire thing is done with very soon and we all can return back to our normal lives. This is your Bong Mom in the US, um, your Bong Mom teacher today trying to analyze Act 1, Scene 1 of Macbeth. Now, in my last few videos, I had a question coming up that is, if you are a teacher in US, why are you making these YouTube videos? Now, before I start the lesson, let me tell you a little bit about myself. That is, I am a person who had an very extended and very loving and caring family in India. But unfortunately, I lost a lot of member of my family to cancer. And I'm doing this YouTube channel. The first reason is to reach out to students who are struggling with some of literary topics. And secondly, whatever although it's just a baby channel right now, I'm not even thinking about monetizing or anything, but in near future, if any time my channel gets monetized, the whatever I get from this will go to St. Jude, which is a hospital treating cancer patient kids. So all the money from the YouTube channel is gonna go there. So that is one of the most important reason as to why I am even after a busy day, I am doing these YouTube videos. I hope that answered most of your question, and I hope you guys support me in my philanthropic journey by subscribing my channel, liking my videos, and putting your valuable comment. Please do subscribe and comment and like. Now, in today's class, I'm going to take Act 1, Scene 1 of Shakespeare's Macbeth. It's a very common topic in Calcutta University English syllabus, and I'm pretty sure many other colleges under other different universities also deal with Shakespeare's Macbeth. And Act 1, Scene 1 is specifically very important for the entire events that takes place now in the tragedy. Now, Shakespeare, of course, we know who Shakespeare is. He is one name that shines brightly in the horizon of English literature. Now, 4 of his tragedies are almost etched in eternity: Macbeth, Hamlet, King Lear, and Othello. Probably there is hardly a soul on earth who hasn't heard the names of these 4 tragedies. They have been written, rewritten, made into movies, n number of times by every writer or every sort of filmmaker. They have been adapted, and they are so timeless and so contemporary that in every age we can use them, adapt them. They are never obsolete or archaic for that matter. Now, before I begin with the scene, let me tell you, in Shakespeare, landscape is a reflection of the mindscape. Whatever happens around the characters is a representation of whatever happens inside of them. So, when the scene begins with thunder, lightning, enter 3 witches, this thunder and lightning is not just outside, it is also a metaphorical representation of what is going on inside the mind of uh, the characters: Macbeth, Banquo, everyone. Uh, Most of the important scenes in this tragedy occur when there is a thunder and a storm outside. So, which again reinforces the fact that probably the storm which is happening outside is a, a symbolic representation of what these characters are going on, are experiencing in their minds. And then we see three witches. Now, according to many critique, these witches, they are not real as such. They are just an extension of the evil which is already sleeping, which is already slumbering in Macbeth's mind. That evil, that vaulting ambition is already there in Macbeth. What he needs is some sort of agent or some sort of a source to kindle it, to just give it a little push. And that's what the witches do. So many critics don't hold the witches entirely responsible for what happens to Macbeth. But again, these are assumptions. That is the fun of Shakespeare, He never gave any sort of definition himself, and he left everything to be interpreted by his readers. So all these plays can be interpreted in so many different ways, to each his own, sort of. And that is the reason they are so new, so novel, and they never seem to be obsolete or archaic. So the first witch says, "When shall we three meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain?" Now, you can see that the witches have a very topsy-turvy set of expectation. Usually, when we ask to, meet with our friends, it is usually nice sunny day at a cafe or a movie or a walk in the park. But look at the topsy-turvy values and preferences of the witches. They want to meet when it is thunder, lightning, and rain. So their values are completely opposite to the human values. When the hurly-burly is done, when the battle's lost and won. So the second witch answers by saying that once the hurly-burly, the storm, the war, it is done and the battle's lost and won. Now here, they could be talking about the storm that is happening on the heath, and they might say that once the storm is settled down, we'll meet. Or it could be an imagery for the war that will be tearing apart Macbeth. Later on, when Macbeth decides to kill Duncan, there is the dagger scene, the very famous dagger scene, where Macbeth is still, fighting with his conscience, still deciding whether he should do it, whether he shouldn't do it. So the hurly-burly and the battles lost and won could be the battle that is being raged within Macbeth's own conscience. That will be ere the set of sun. Now, the third witch is prophetic in nature and says that the hurly-burly or the war will end before the sun sets. Now, of course, that could be physically the sun setting in the horizon, or that could also metaphorically mean the setting of Macbeth's goodness. When Macbeth finally succumbs to evil and the good in him, which is represented by the sun, sets. Where the place? And the first witch asks, what's the place? Upon the heath. And then they say, there to meet with Macbeth. See, Macbeth, the tragic hero, is introduced to us by the witches. And even before we see him physically, we hear his name being announced by the witches. So, we can definitely say that Macbeth has a very important connection and, with the witches. The witches are definitely hatching a plan for him. I come Greymalkin Paddock calls Anon. So Greymalkin Paddock are their pets. Witches have very weird pets. And then they all say, fair is foul and foul is fair, hover through the fog and the filthy air. So as I told you, the witches believe in a very topsy-turvy values. And they say, fair is foul and foul is fair, hover through the fog and the filthy air. That is their job in the play. They gonna churn the fair and the foul in such an convoluted mixture. They gonna play with Macbeth's conscience and his imagination in such a way that Macbeth would be completely myopic to what is right and what is wrong. He'll completely lose his moral vision. They're gonna blur it completely, and they have they simply enjoy and relish this sort of confusion that they're gonna create. So they're gonna churn and blur Macbeth's moral vision, so the truth will be right there in front of him, yet he won't be able to see it, because we don't see with our eyes, we see it with our mind. And they're gonna completely blind Macbeth's mental vision. So that's pretty much for today's class. We'll do another topic in my next video. If you are watching my video, please like my video, please share my video, and please comment. If I did a fairly decent job, just comment. Please subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow again with another video. Take care, be safe, have a good life. Bye.